Yeah, Kluger, if you kind of want to just like start by walking us through the
My job.
tutorial doc. Yeah.
Hang on, I don't have the tutorial doc open. I was just kind of like gonna go for it with the strafing,
Sure.
but yeah, basically strafing speeds you up by turning on the ground. So you want to walk diagonally and turn in that same diagonal direction to gain speed. And a common mistake new people make when doing this is they don't spend enough time on the ground to actually build up that speed. So they'll sort of jump before actually like getting any speed, and it'll end up slower than actually walking. Sort of what you're doing there. And you keep holding those diagonal keys through the air to gain more speed while air strafing as well. And so we basically just do repeated long jumps like this to go fast, because there's no beat hopping or preserving speed through hops or anything like that.
And what does throwing in a crouch, really accomplish? Because a lot of people like to do that.
Yeah, that's effectively nothing, but it helps avoid getting hit sometimes, which pretty much like melee or even bullets sometimes will miss more often when you're
Yes, and
crouching.
there's actually one part in this game where it's concretely useful. On Sins of the Father, there's the iron fence, and you jump through the gap, so you have to crouch there.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I forgot about that one. And yeah, so crouching lowers your head. It doesn't raise your legs like in most games, so that can be a bit trippy. But so jumping under low ceilings with crouching, like you need to crouch to jump under low ceilings, like on Mile High Club, for example.
Exactly.
So it doesn't affect your speed at all. That's a kind of a common misconception.
Yeah. And I guess we'll kind of just like quickly cover like what's on screen. So we got, my note board or showing my keyboard, inputs and stuff like that. We got a timer for, if we need to test certain things to kind of show like the differences in like pacing and like, different strategies. And then we have the velocity meter, which is that little blue indicator and the number value next to that. So like the regular walking speed is 190. And you got sprint speed, which is like 285. And then like a strafe, like a solid one, like a good average is like, what would you guys say, like 360 or so? It's like a good number
It's
to shoot for, or is that a little
it
high?
kind of depends. It's I mean it really depends on the skill level and experience of the person. So you can go higher or lower than that. You
Yeah, if
can
you're
hit
just starting
360.
out, if you're
Sorry.
just starting out, it's like 340 is good, and then once you start getting into it, you should aim for 360 to 370, and then once you've ran for maybe over half a year, it's good to start paying more attention to it and get maybe 390, closing in on that 400 mark. 400s are kind of rare for me still,
Yeah,
but
I can't hit 400s.
yeah, 390 is pretty good.
Yeah,
It also isn't like the number isn't the whole story of getting from point A to point B all the time.
Yeah,
It
true.
obviously matters to go faster,
Yeah,
but straight lines are also very important.
yeah. The line and routing, timing of jumps, all that stuff is super duper important. Um, I think more so in like a game like Modern Warfare 2, wouldn't you say, Kluger, than like maybe
Yeah,
COD4, which is like kind of like dependent on a few other things like tricks or
yeah. So
other knowledge
I mean,
elsewhere.
there's other ways to save time in code forwards. It matters as well. It's just sort of there's less things that matter in MW2, I
Yeah,
guess, to save time.
yeah. Also, one other thing that we will be doing in this run is wall running. So, like your base movement speed forward is 190, which we just talked about. But if you hold forward and then also walk against the surface, you go a little bit faster. So it's tough to demonstrate because this isn't a very good wall. But we're getting up to 220, 220 something. So sprinkling in like a wall run in certain areas where like you're capped at a walking speed where you can't sprint or jump effectively, it's good to work in those wall runs to get that faster speed. So like whenever we're carrying like Macmillan or anything like that, um, it's better to wall run. But yeah, was there anything else that we should cover before we kind of like start breaking down each level?
Maybe the different weapon speeds. So because COD is pretty weird. So
Oh yeah, yeah,
most weapons are light, but if you get generally the general rule is every assault rifle is slow except the G3 in COD4. Um, so those will have a 10% movement speed decrease. So the walking speed will be like 171, and running speed is like 256 or something. So generally avoid using those if you can.
yeah. I would spawn one, but I don't know if I can.
Yeah, I don't know if you can on this level,
Can I get?
but
Oh wait, no,
everything else is fast, like including launchers, javelins, stingers, RPGs, everything you can think of, LMGs. They're all fast. It's doesn't really make sense, but that's the way it is.
Yeah. And also the stamina that you have will change depending on certain things you use, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm actually a little less sure about this in COD4 because
Oh, really?
most of my experience is from MW2, but holding a grenade launcher out reduces your stamina in MW2. I know that for sure.
Yeah, heavily. Here it really doesn't. It's shared with the assault rifle, but
Okay.
LMGs are definitely, you have less stamina there.
Good info. I actually didn't know that.
Yeah. I had a feeling that's what it was, but I wanted to double check. That's why I asked. Cool. All right. And we'll kind of like be able to demonstrate a bit more once we actually get on some levels, like, you know, what is like the best gun to use, like for like hunted, for example. You don't want to run like an AK or, well, I mean, you can run an AK, but you need like a fast secondary weapon, like a shotgun
Yeah,
or
so-
something to run
and-
with.
AK is like the sole example of a slow weapon that's still useful because its time to kill is so low in this game. It's actually quite useful for any sections where you just need to clear enemies rather than move quickly.
Yep.
But most other assault rifles generally aren't worth it.
Unless you happen to get lucky enough to get your hands on a G36C, which we only touched in the first level, right? I don't think we ever see it again.
It's fast too, isn't it? Or is it not?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
I think it's
Yeah.
normal speed. Yeah.
I always assumed it wasn't an assault rifle, or is it?
Yeah, same.
I don't
This was my baby in multiplayer. I love this gun. All right, I guess we'll go ahead and boot up the first level and kind of just go through. So we got the prologue section, which is, in my
Bad
opinion, the most boring part of the run. It has its moments. I think like the CQB test is kind of fun and interesting, but in the end, it doesn't really matter. And then the firing range, all this stuff's pretty much on a timer.
Yeah, so what I was going to say is, I think FNG would be a good level, except that almost the entire level is locked by dialogue. So pretty much everything you do here doesn't really matter. I think the only things that are actually important is hitting these targets with the hip fire quickly, and then hitting the ones behind the wooden board quickly.
Yeah.
So I do know one time I hit the wooden board target slowly, and I got like an extra line of dialogue I hadn't heard before.
I also just not sure if anyone was paying attention, but like when I came over here, I aimed down sights to let go, and then Gaz yelled at me to aim down my sights again. If you do come over here, you want to make sure you just hold it. Otherwise, like he'll kind of yell at you. There's a couple other moments that if you aren't paying attention, you can lose time, but it's not that significant in the grand scheme of things. And it's kind of funny, like on a good run, to have a really bad FNG.
Yeah.
And one thing we haven't covered yet is like hipfire accuracy. So my crosshair is, you know, pretty small. Like I could hit these targets probably no problem. But if you're having any issue, you can always prone here and shoot from this position. And the bullets will pretty much go straight.
Yeah, so this level's a lot more about dialogue management than anything else, I think.
Yeah.
Just learning what to,
What's the fastest dialogue for this one?
I actually don't know.
Is it French?
Oh yeah, fastest
Yeah.
thing is French, yeah. But it's also a little bit weird because Price has random dialogues that he'll tell you after the CQB test, and only one of them is really fast in French. I think the others are about the same speed as English.
Gotcha.
But then one of them's like 1 second faster.
You'll notice that I didn't kill all the enemies here. It's only because you only have to kill 7. It's basically on a timer. Then you come over here, grab the pistol. Then Gaz like yells at you to switch to your rifle, then switch to your pistol. It's faster. Blah 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 blah. It's pretty much all on a timer, and you can knife the watermelon early if you want. You can swap. When he tells you, it doesn't really matter too much. Just make sure you have like your rifle out when he mentions it. And then from the firing range, you want to just strafe over here.
This is like the one section that actually matters, so you can save or lose a tiny bit of time strafing over to this building.
Yeah.
FNG, sir.
That's about all there is.
Go easy on him, sir. It's his first day in the regiment.
This is where Price roasts us.
Get 8 seconds and get cold garbage.
Yeah. I've never gotten 8 seconds in my life.
you did get called garbage. I'm
Yeah.
sure at least once.
So one thing that's kind of fun is you can push Lovejoy down if you want.
Keep the USP out, by the way, just to demonstrate that one bit of extra dialogue.
Yeah, we just got it. So
Yeah.
if you don't have the MP5 out, Price will get mad at you and be like, "Yo, pull out your MP5." Same thing if you don't have your magazine fully loaded. I think it yells at you, right? Oh no, it doesn't.
Yeah, doesn't it?
I thought it
actually
did.
thought it would.
Okay.
It yells
I
at
don't
you
know
if you
anything.
only pick up some of the flashbangs, I think.
Oh yeah, that
which
could
is
be
hard
it.
to do.
That could be it. And then so for this, I'm not the best CQB player, but that's honestly irrelevant. It doesn't matter too much.
It's the only thing that slightly matters is you want to get the first two.
Don't wanna
areas
do
that. Also, don't go that slow. But you want to get the first two areas reasonably clean, because his dialogue won't be quite stacked up there. But if you fail later on in the test, Bryce will have more lines of dialogue to get through. And so you
Also,
want to just-
if you miss the rope, that's what happens.
yeah,
Don't
do
miss
that.
the rope. I should eventually learn how to do this fast. Oh, what the hell? I ran out of ammo so fast. Did I not reload?
I think you did. I think you were testing the does he yell at you for no ammo?
Oh yeah, the save was so unfortunate. Well, we still got 13 seconds, which, whatever.
So yeah, generally speaking, about 15 seconds is where you're not losing any time, roughly. But if you lose 5 seconds at the beginning, you're gonna lose a bit more time.
You also
Kind of
lose
stupid.
time menuing,
Yeah.
which is really annoying because you have to be pretty quick about it. So you gotta choose the difficulty. It's not enough to just choose it. You have to also confirm it. So I'm actually gonna play through the whole level from start to finish, just kind of how I would normally. And go ahead and start the timer too.
Under 220 or you're bad.
Oh god.
Good to see you, mate.
So much pressure.
You know the drill. Go to station 1 and aim
So
right.
holding down sights here.
Shoot each
I hit
target
escape
while
there.
aiming down the
I think you
sights.
could just hit B. I'm not sure on
Now, shoot at the targets.
I'm also
console.
not certain, but I think his dialogue keeps playing through that menu in your face, so you don't have to be super quick about closing it. I think.
I think that's correct.
Good. Bullets will penetrate
I'm not
through
even
weak
sure. I
materials
think
like
it
wood,
pauses the
plaster,
game.
and sheet metal.
That's
No,
why
it-
we found out about it in the first place.
That was the
Get all of them as fast as you can.
that was what people thought in NW2 until I checked, and NW2 works the way I just assumed
Okay.
NW4 works.
Okay.
So
It might be that way, I have no idea.
we don't test it, we just do it. We just do what we
Yeah.
Get side arm
Just
from
do
the
it.
armory. Good. Now switch to your right.
So I knifed the watermelon early.
Side arm.
Doesn't really matter, like I said.
Switch into your
Draw a happy face in the trash.
reloading.
Good stuff.
Nice.
Also, if you back out of the target shooting area, if you take out the necessary number of targets and then back out while still aiming down sights, Gaz will yell at you for some reason. But if you get up and sprint away, he won't. I don't know why.
It's the FNG, sir.
Apparently that's a thing.
TLDR, Gaz hates you and he wants to yell at you whenever he can. And Price is very slow and yeah, just never does what you want him to do.
So it's your turn for the CQB test. Everyone else head to observation. For this test, you have to
Careful
follow
shooting these
target
TVs
shot
too,
solo
by the way.
for 60 seconds.
When your teammates go by them, if you shoot them, you will fail.
19 seconds.
You can knife the TVs though, which is kind of interesting, and they won't fail.
I wonder how much new knowledge I'm going to get out of the stream. I didn't know that either.
What did Rusky say here? Someone wants to cover that. Did you mention that on console?
Yeah, you need to let aim assist disabled for this mission. So basically why you need aim assist disabled is in the beginning you will get a mandatory part explaining how the
Oh
aim
my
assist
God.
works.
Sorry, I completely blanked and didn't see that target was still up.
I was going to tell you, but then I didn't want to interrupt Survivors.
Yeah.
I was deep listening to Survivor. I wasn't even paying attention what was going on in the game.
Yeah, because the course is so easy usually.
Yeah, not for me. So
But
this
yeah,
will be
there's some extra dialogue and extra stuff you have to do that lose maybe, I don't know how much, maybe 15 to 20 seconds. So you should have aim assist disabled. Also in the end, if you want, you can skip some menuing by selecting veteran easily.
Oh yeah, so that
Oh,
saves
yeah.
one click. The veteran is technically faster.
Wait, does that work
Right.
for ILs? You're allowed to do veteran?
Yep.
Yeah.
Damn. That's a free
might
world
have done
record.
that for
I'm just
my-
kidding.
I don't remember if I did that on my record.